child, I had no interest in the laws, of course. But when I was about 12 years old, one of the warlords came to our home. He took my parents, and I was left on my own to survive in the city. I remember him. I remember my parents leaving. And I remember me screaming. But everything else is gone. It's just a blur.
What happened to your parents?
Well, what else? They were exiled. Nobody ever told me why they were exiled. I still don't know what they did, even today. I hate the Berserker laws. Nothing against the Berserkers. They're just people. It's the laws I hate. I think what the Berserkers want to do with Magalan is right. But I can never forgive them for what they did to my parents. Why was I punished for whatever my parents did? Why wasn't I told what had happened? I swore never to return, and I haven't set foot in Idan again.
Where did you go?
Wherever I needed to survive. That meant running from reavers and wild animals. It didn't take long for some reavers to take me captive. And then, I don't want to talk about that. I was lucky, though. After several years, the reavers were attacked by some of the Duke's outlaws, and they took me back to Tavar. I learned how to fight, how to live off scrap. Life wasn't much different from Idan, but there wasn't the same raptor shit. The laws. You could be who you were, and no one judged you.
And why didn't you remain with the outlaws?
Because the reavers who'd taken me captive came to the fort and wanted to speak to the Duke. I think they wanted to take me back. I fled when they saw me. I didn't want to be taken back, or for them to kill me to hide their crime. When I left the fort, I ran into a cleric patrol. They convinced me to go to the Hort with them. Not that I really needed that much convincing. All those hours taking scrap apart and putting it back together in Tavar really paid off there. The clerics recognized that I was good with technology. So, I've been working on mechs and AI systems since then. Building things. Trusted. Part of a team. And it's easier being with mechs. They don't judge anyone. They treat everyone the same. Like this place. I know it's not perfect. But outlaws, berserkers, clerics, even elves are seen as people. At least that's the vision. Not always the way it happens. That's another reason to maintain these mechs. To protect what we have here. Well, I hope you find your place in the world. It's good when you do.
Так что опять был проблем. Сильно решил сбрыкнуться.
What are you doing here in Abessa?
I take care of the mechs and drones here in the city, which means I coordinate and plan their maintenance and upgrades. When I'm lucky, I get to roll up my sleeves and do some of the actual maintenance, which I'm having to do quite a lot with all the technicians we're missing. Say, are you good with technology?
No.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I guess I'll have to keep asking round. On the other hand, if you're looking for some part-time work, I could still use your help. I have 4 people I've been told I should look at for taking the technician's job, but I don't have time to gauge their abilities. Would that be something you could do for me? I'd pay you.
Yeah, I'll talk to your candidates.
Great. The 4 names I have are Daryl, Naira, Rorik, and Riley. Though I'm really not sure about Riley. There's something about
Да,
him
Райли
that
я бы не посоветовал тебе.
Speak to each of them and let me know whether you think they might have the right skills and abilities for the job. Oh, and I'll need you to let me know about their loyalties. You know, can they work with clerics? Do they hate us? We'd be trusting them with the mechs and AI that defend the Dome City. So I don't want to employ anyone who might still be thinking about their faction, not our security.
About the candidates for technician.
Yes?
Tell me about Naira.
Naira is an Alb separatist, so a bit of a long shot for loyalty. But she should have the technical ability we need. She's somewhere in the west of the city with the other separatists, in the slums.
You want to employ a separatist as a technician?
We need someone, and I don't think your faction always says who you are. Albs are usually very good with technology, but you're right. I don't know if we can trust her.
Tell me about Daryl.
Daryl is an outlaw. He's applied to be a technician, but I don't know why. So I want to know his motives and what his technical experience is. I'm hoping you can get that information. If he's skilled and trustworthy, then employing him might show that we do trust outlaws here. But I don't know that much about him. I don't even know where to find him.
What do you know about Rorik?
Rorik is a berserker. I think I last saw him somewhere around Vito's pub. It might seem weird to consider a berserker, but I was one once. And I know Rorik used to work extracting ELEX from machines in Goliath, so he knows about technology. And I think I could teach him everything else that he needs to know. And it would show that we were reaching out to the berserkers who have come to the Dome City. Their magic is very powerful, and they're strong warriors. We will need their help if the Albs attack us from Zakor. But it'll be important to find out if he's prepared to have anything to do with technology before we think of offering him the job.
I don't agree to just anything, so try
Okay.
again. The dome is a gift.
Да блин.
Parts repair skill. If you're here for the food rations, then I'll tell you what I told the other 100 people. Someone must have been making a joke. I don't have anything to sell or give out, so you can just turn around and leave.
What are you talking about?
The free rations! The free rations, as if there would ever be free rations. Ah, but you're not here for that, are you? Then I'm sorry. I have been the butt of a joke that has left me rather angry, and I thought... Well, I'm sorry. It's just... I'm just so sick of it. The belligerence between the berserkers and outlaws. Everything was simpler when I was a cultivator in Goliath. We had laws and everyone obeyed them. Why can't people
как
just all work
соблюдали?
together?
If you feel that way, why don't you go back to Goliath?
No. Those days are gone. I left willingly to establish a world heart here in Abessa. But when it became clear that the seedling wouldn't grow, Caleb decided that we would remain here. And whatever Caleb says is best. But now, no, I can't go back. We went against orders from Goliath. If I go back now, they'll just stick me in a cage, no questions asked.
Fink sent me.
Did he? Well, I don't have anything to say to those Albs. This whole thing between Caleb and Fink is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
Tell me your version of the story.
My version? I'm stuck between the two of them. I told Caleb in confidence that I saw Fink meet an Alb outside the city. Could have been a separatist, but I wasn't sure. I didn't see any more than that, but Caleb decided to tell the clerics. He convinced me that the Alb Fink met must have been from Zakor. But I have no real idea who he was, or what faction he's with.
About the situation with the separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
Go to the clerics and tell them you made a mistake.
I can't do that. Caleb will call me a traitor. And for all I know, Caleb is right. That Alb could have been from Zakor. What if Fink actually is an Alb spy?
I spoke with Fank. He is not a spy.
How can you be sure? Whatever it was I saw it. Don't you think it's suspicious? And even if this Alb was a separatist, we don't really know what they want either, do we? No. No, it's too risky just to hope he's innocent. I can't say anything to the clerics.
If that is your decision.
Yes. I'm sorry, but we can't risk it. Not if Caleb could be right. You've helped me decide. Thank you. The separatists must leave the city. I will go to Caleb and tell him that I won't say anything.
That wasn't so good.
Nobody fucking
You can
cares.
forget it, Brabak. I serve everyone here.
Well, if you're sure about
Save
that,
yourself.
then okay.
Hey, traveler. Is your throat
О,
dry?
Вита!
Feet aching? Whatever your problem, I have what you need. One good swig will cure all worries, and that's guaranteed.
Do you want to trade? Do you have any news to go with that drink?
News? Now, I presume you're talking about news from in here. I don't hear anything much from the outside now the city gates are sealed. Now, the future of the domed city is the only topic people are concerned about right now. That's pretty much all of the conversation. There's been peace in here for years, but right now, well, we're all set for things to boil over. And I don't want to say it's the cleric's fault. It's always easy to blame the people in charge, isn't it? But who else do we blame? The berserkers, the outlaws, the separatists? Me? I find it best not to blame anyone.
How is business?
Now that everyone is paying credit? Roaring. Not many people aren't happy to pay on credit. It's me that's holding the bill and hoping to get paid before I run out of supplies. Speaking of which, do you know where I can get any food supplies? I'll pay real shards to get more food supplies in.
Most people try to earn a profit in your situation, huh?
Try, yeah. Achieving is something different. I'd rather you get the supplies honestly, but if you take them from people who have too much, who am I to question it? But if you steal from those with nothing, then I don't want anything from you. I like to keep things
Тоже
honest.
справедливо. Тоже последнее. Хочу отбирать.
What do you care who I serve?
Hey, come over here.
О,
Let's get a drink together.
хорошо.
What are we celebrating?
Victory over the Alps. Or do you have another reason to celebrate? Because any reason works for me.
Victory over the Alps?
Well, imminent victory. Got to be, hasn't it? Or don't you have any confidence in us? Don't say the wrong thing now. You got to believe if you want to succeed.
If you keep drinking, you're not going to beat anyone.
What the? I was being hospitable there. Now you're opening your mouth and
так
inviting
сразу
someone
изменилось.
to shut it. And I am so close to plugging it for you. But because you're new, I'll give you a chance. One final chance. If you get the next round, we'll stay good friends. So, what'll it be? Are you gonna take it in the teeth or feed it to the liver?
Show me what you've got.
A fighter. Let's have you then, fighter.
I'd put that weapon away if you want to, so you can listen.
Я ничего не успел забрать, ну блин.
I still serve you.
What the fuck? You cheating bastard! Did you drug me? What the fuck did you do to me?
Я тебя победил в честном бою.
Asshole.
Yeah, keep pushing your luck. Someone will shut that big mouth permanently one day.
Why aren't you in a den with the other berserkers?
Fuck the berserkers. I don't have anything more in common with them. They would have exiled me to the valley sooner or later. So I beat them to the punch and left. Fuck them and their laws. You can have it much easier here.
Your reputation precedes you.
Let's just say, that crap-stained skinflap of a man was shooting his mouth off about me, and he didn't have anything better to say about you. It's about time someone pays him a visit. Now, you're the one to do it. That lying shit is telling people I killed a family out in the Badlands. Total fucking bullshit. I killed 5 families out in the Badlands. Parading around out there. Hardly a weapon between them. Like they wanted to die.
Да ты вообще
Those
убил.
dipshits got themselves killed. And now, Riley spread it all around the dome. He's even got some of the guards believing his yabber. But if someone else were to shut him up, I'd be in the clear, and those guards would be off my back. Take care of him, and I'll make it worth your while.
You need to learn respect for others.
You think that because you beat me once, that I'm afraid of you? You are so wrong. So piss off, or I'll give you your head on a plate.
Give people some respect and you won't need to fight.
Let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna give your whore of a mother a reason to cry. Come here.
So, you aren't that stupid after all.
Is the fight over? All right.
Все,
You've
успокоился.
made your point, so leave me alone.
You had better leave people alone from now on.
I got it.
From now on, keep your hands off the outlaws.
And if I don't?
Then you'd better find a bodyguard before I come back for you.
All right, fuck it. You get your wish.
Smart decision.
Нефиг. Поддержки, смотрите какой. А ты бы мог и помочь. Ладно, честная борьба там и... Гранаты. Не, между тем работал. Хитрый. По два. Сейчас тут стоит.
What kept you?
I'm here now.
So you are. And are you planning on telling me where you've set up camp or what comes next? Or do I have to wait for that too?
Okay, I'll tell you what's happened so far.
You've done a lot, but you still have got a lot of work ahead of you. Or we have.
And we're not going to get where we need to without a jetpack.
Don't worry, I know how to use one of those. I'll keep up with you. Now can we talk about my problem?
You said you wanted to study the properties of ELEX. How will you do that?
I can feel the presence of ELEX. Mostly where it's present in great quantities.
Like the converter?
You don't need any special powers to feel the ELEX there. No, I'm talking about unrefined ELEX. When it's raw, latent. I can learn more from it when it hasn't been altered. I want to explore Magalan and look for some large deposits of unrefined ELEX.
Интересно.
Deposits. I thought ELEX arrived with the comet.
You're right. Part of its power is that it isn't from here. I want to discover how it is spread across Magalan. But when it is processed by the Albs, the ELEX changes. It becomes polarized. The transmuted form that the Berserkers get from their mana shrine changes it in similar ways. That keeps some of its power, but it's the ELEX that came with the comet that I want to learn more about. I feel that there are secrets to learn about it. To understand those secrets, I need it untouched, pure ELEX.
How do you want to find these large ELEX deposits?
When the comet impact spread ELEX across Magalan, it found its way everywhere. Into the seas, the rock, the air we breathe. But it is collected and concentrated in some places. I have felt the vibrations, the presence of these deposits. I want to track them down and examine them.
Where can you find this unrefined ELEX?
The first deposit I'd like to investigate is north of the city of Abessa. I can show you.
If it's so close, why hasn't anyone else found it?
I don't know. Maybe because nobody can feel ELEX like I can.
Your senses are better than Alb technology.
Come with me and find out.
How are you?
I'm okay. I can see that you're struggling with your emotions. It must seem more natural. I'll try to assist you in your struggle. People will own...
All right, show me the way.
It's not far from the city. Follow me.
Даже переносимся.
There is a vast amount of ELEX flowing into the sea. It washes out of the cliffs and the ground, and it flows out across the planet. ELEX is everywhere.
But you still think we need to find concentrations of it?
Yes, from the moment the comet struck, ELEX has been seeping into everything on Magalan. That makes the background noise from it hard to read. If I'm to learn more, we must follow those mutants to find where the ELEX is coming from. We know where we have to go. I'll follow you this time. I am better at sensing ELEX than any person I know. But there are mutants with the same ability. We should be careful in case the ELEX deposit has attracted them.
Вот лагерь. Все, я понял. Пойдем. Посмотрим. Ты сражаешься. Да кто там так возмущается? Собачка. Давай. У тебя магия есть, ты говорила. Да что-то помощь от нее.
Not now.
А вот он ты где.
About Brabeck. You needn't worry about Brabeck. He'll leave you alone.
Leave me alone? He won't do that while he still draws breath. Oh, please tell me you didn't appeal to his conscience. He hasn't got one.
Don't worry. I made things clear to him. He won't be back.
Well, okay. Thank you. Thank you, that's what I wanted to hear. Wow, I might actually live through this year now. Thank you. Thank you. Here, this is for you.
Ну что-то берсерки себя тут вообще не нравятся. И тут нет.
What's happening in the city?
Well, the Dome City is a refuge for all. Outlaws, berserker, clerics, anyone who wants to be somewhere other than their homeland. Being away from home, you'd think they'd care less about what faction they were from, but for some reason some of them have got even more fanatical. That makes keeping order difficult sometimes. The outlaws are the worst. They don't understand rules or sharing, or in some cases, that people have a right to stay alive.
You don't seem to like outlaws.
All people are welcome here. The Dome City is a refuge for all. But that means all, not just outlaws. There's a half-dozen outlaws hanging around outside the city at the old farm now. They just want to get in to cause trouble. I mean, we got everyone settled down and living together, and those outlaws, I just wish they'd disappear.
You want the outlaws in the farm to die?
Whoa, that's not what I said.
Ну
I just
подумал.
want them to stop causing trouble for good.
About the outlaws in the farm.
You mean the threat on our doorstep? The canker in our midst? They who should disappear?
Where are these outlaws?
They've gathered east of here at an old farm, not far from the city walls. You can't miss them.
If the price is right, I will
Обязательно
take
их
care of the
убивать.
outlaws.
Are you sure you can handle this? Well, if you're willing to try, then I would be grateful if they'd vanish. I will have your reward ready when you come back. Oh, it'll be such a relief to know they're gone. But you need to prove you did it by bringing me their heads.
Ну блин, а.
You want their heads?
By Kalan, what? No, no. What am I supposed to do with their heads? No, I didn't. Just make sure that the outlaws disappear.
О, чтобы исчезли.
Don't trade with them, or you can forget your reward. And no heads. Don't bring me any heads.
Договорились.
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
Туда ушел. Чин.
What do you want?
Those
Jordan?
converters, the lives they destroyed, and for what?
The Albs were exiled from the city.
Then you convinced York to speak up. You did well. Allowing them in the
Блин.
city was simply too big a risk. Here, take this. It's a small thanks for the big favor you've just done us. Thank you for your service to the city. I sent
Ну
someone
да
to you
ладно.
for the...
The domed city is our last hope.
We have to push the Albs back.
He always thought he could talk his way around anyone.
If it wasn't an Alp that Fink spoke to, the
All
risk
you'll
of letting
find in
a separate
Zakor
state-
is... Hey, you're new here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's all right. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserker's city of Goliath, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
Who's your friend?
His name is Kral. He's a guard at the Mana Shrine. At least, he was when I left. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliath to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted ELEX from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. And that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine to try and learn magic myself. And I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Dome City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am.
I'm glad.
Чем у меня что-то... Ладно, придется, я думаю, все-таки закончить. Что лаги интернета. Сохраните. Спасибо всем, кто смотрел меня. Спасибо к тем, кто посмотрит. Не болейте. Болейте тут. Всем спасибо. Удачи. Пока.